All right, guys, what's up, man? Pete here from the Panda Diet, and what I want to talk about today: what does it actually mean to be vegan? A lot of things going around. People really don't understand what being vegan actually is. A lot of people think it's a diet. It's not a diet at all, and I think what we're gonna leave you with is and walk away with is exactly what to think about when you think of like a true vegan, like a true vegan. And I think, frankly, it's the default of which we all start. Like it is the absolute default. And what do I mean by that? It's a blank slate. You have to be untaught not to be a vegan. So, actually, we're born to be vegan. We're born not to abuse animals, and that's what it comes down to. And I think Ava put it perfect with a response to John here. It's basically a people against the abuse of all animals. That's it. And so if you're against the abuse of animals, you're vegan. Simple as that. It's not a diet. And people talk about plant based versus vegan. Um, it's all about the animals. And I think I don't know why that goes off. And once you understand that, things get a lot easier. Being vegan actually is just against the animals. So if you're against the abuse of animals, you're vegan. Some people actually, I'm not saying everybody's vegan. Most people just don't act on it. And so they consume animals, which you contribute to the abuse of animals. So therefore, you cannot be vegan if you eat animals at all, or any animal products, because eggs, meat, dairy, cheese, everything, every single one of those things requires the abuse of animals: pig, chicken, cow, everything. And so, why wouldn't you be against that? So, in a sense, we're taught, or blindly taught, and then once you kind of figure it out, you're like, well, in too deep, or everyone else is doing it, which still doesn't make sense, or it still doesn't make it right. And so, why don't we get that out of our head? What are we doing? Why, when we don't actually have to kill an animal, it's unnecessary. You don't need to. You absolutely do not need to. It's needless. It's proven. It's actually better. It's healthier to eat plants. Why would you want to commit to an atrocity that is happening to these things, to these animals, to these actual beings? And so many people do not understand that. And so being vegan is not weird. It's not something that's it's not a cult. It's just not necessary to abuse and torture and slaughter animals unnecessarily for food or clothing or tests, things like that. There's no reason. So, the default is against that. You kind of have to convince me, or go through. Basically, people are going through their life, and then they, someone brings this up, and then you have to think about it. You have to acknowledge it. And so when you acknowledge it, you have a couple different ways to handle it. You can kind of just say, nope, not going to listen to it. Don't even want to hear it. And that's kind of like your brain and yourself protecting yourself from this uncomfortable feeling, this thing that does not make sense, to abuse animals, to contribute to abuse animals. So you can either just kind of deny it, not believe it, just kind of put it out of our memory. Two, we can make a reason or a justification for doing it. And so that's, it tastes good. It's convenient, and is it necessary? Nope, you don't need to. And so, like, this uncomfortable feeling has to be settled. It has to be, identified. It has to be acknowledged, and an action has to be taken. So we have to do a couple things. So we can put it out of our memory. We can just not listen to it, or we can basically create a justification. Give a reason why you're doing it. You don't need to. So, that's kind of where it just really doesn't make sense to continue to abuse and torture animals. Straight up. So, being vegan is only and all about the animals. It's not about diet. It's not about environment. It's not about, health. It's only and specifically all around about the animals. You are against the abuse of animals. So it's literally the default. Baby human is born. They are literally vegan. They are born against the abuse and torture and slaughter, and they don't want to kill animals. They're taught over time by society, their parents, the people around them, schools, governments, like things, information out there that's basically teaching people to be okay, or it's normal, it's normalized to kill and abuse and torture these animals unnecessarily for our taste, for some food that we don't need to. So we have gotten so good at this technologically and advancements to make this like literally like a manufacturing process with minimal loss and to maximizing the animals for profit. It's absolutely absurd, and it needs to stop. So it's not about, health is a secondary positive effect of stopping your contribute and abuse of animals. Fuck. Keeps timing out. So I think also, being vegan is actually being, understanding what is going into our body. Like, you actually think about it. And I think when you actually think about it, you realize like, whoa, what am I doing? You haven't really connected food and animals together. And I think most people that aren't vegan obviously have not connected these two things. Food is like seen as this, this thing, like call it deli meat, right? When you see a sandwich or deli meat, you don't see or connect the animal to that sandwich. And that's the problem. And I think the more that you can do that, if you sit there and look at like a sandwich and you see an animal and you see all the death and blood and terror and just unnecessary torture and pain that we're causing just to eat that thing, pretty simple in my opinion. It's pretty simple. And it's hard to connect at first. And, like even a bacon, like seeing a piece of bacon and all these comments people make about bacon and, how bacon is life and all of these things. Like, I wish those people would actually watch some of the footage that, the pigs go through. And it's just, it's unbelievable, really. That we're actually allowed, like that people actually do this, and we contribute to it, and we actually make it possible for that to happen. So if you're if you don't think that you're by buying that you're contributing to these things, it's not correct. Like you're purposefully putting that away from your mind so that we can continue to do this. And this is what the brain does. The brain is fascinating, and what our mind does to block out pain and this uncomfortable feeling that we have is incredible. And so, it's your body's defense mechanism to kind of block this information out. So it's not pleasant or comfortable to think about or watch or, really understand. But once you do, it makes the choice super easy. I mean, like, if you can pick, hey, you want to contribute to that, you can contribute to this or that. I don't know. I mean, if you watch the footage of animal slaughtering and compare it to footage of picking berries, carrots, onions, or slicing onions versus sticking a knife in a pig's throat, you tell me. And you can't be like, if you go back to like not being vegan, or a lot of people are like, I was once vegan, or I'm gonna try a little vegan here and there. Like I get the intent, but these people are confused because you don't just try to be vegan. You don't just try to be not an animal abuser. Like you don't, or you do. I mean, it's really clear and simple. I mean, if you consciously eat or consume or buy products and eat sandwich meat, chicken wings, like these turkey breasts, McRibs, Burger King, fast food, anything like that, Happy Meals. And that's just a whole nother story, but connect Happy Meals with kids and we've taught our children that these are, this is normal. This is okay. Like this happens to be happy, to have Happy Meals. Like we're just confused. But you can't just be it a little bit at a time. I'm going to do a little bit, or, I was once against animal abuse, but then I'm going back because it was just too hard. It was too hard. Is it really, really too hard to not contribute to that? Like it doesn't make a lot of sense when you really think about it. Now, I'm talking to the people that get uncomfortable seeing this footage and seeing what's happening. Now, if you're cool with it all and you're, and you're talking hunting and you're good with it, and you truly believe that this is like these animals were put on this earth for this to happen, we got nothing. Just keep moving on. But if you're at all like, if this gets you uncomfortable or thinking differently or being like, wow, it could be, let me rethink this, continue to challenge yourself, continue to lean into this, because this is happening every single day, multiple times a day, all day, every day, everywhere. There's not many people that you'll meet that do not eat animals. Out of your 100 friends, 200, everybody there's not a lot of people out there. There's not a lot of people that have connected animals to food and what we're doing. Truly connected. And I think there's reasons why we're not. And it's extreme. Like, we've been taught these things. It's been normalized over the entire life, and over our entire life, and our multiple lives of generations in our family's history. So we've been, this has been normalized. It's time for like, with technology now, if I came across a video like this, or more footage, and it really got put in front of my face in different ways, right? Many people see it differently. This is why you got to continue to watch documentaries or information, and continue to learn about this, not just push it aside and be like, I'm good. Because if you're still eating animals, you're not good, and neither are the animals. And nobody's doing good if we continue to do this. Like, not anything's going to be good if the majority of us continue to go down this path. And so just trying to awaken, trying to put the information out there, because being vegan is super normal. It is like, it's actually like, it feels really good, because we're against animal abuse, and we actually, live it day to day, and we have fun doing it. And, it's super easy. It's so good. It's healthy. Feel a lot stronger, have a lot more energy. It's just everything about it is good. So why would you not want to be vegan? So it's easy. Just, that's what being vegan is. It actually means you love animals and you actually don't want them to die and be slaughtered at all, and so you see them as beings, and none of us gives us, we don't have the right to do it. So that goes into a whole different topic, but hope this helps. So to sum it up, being vegan means you are against the abuse of all animals, no matter what. So you don't contribute and you don't kill them unnecessarily for food. That's it. You're against it. You do not abuse animals. So, frankly, those people that, are not vegan yet, and I say yet because it's going to happen. Like, everybody is, you're going to eventually become vegan. So if you're watching this, you're going to become vegan. There's going to be a time in your life from now until, the point of when this happens. Like, you're going to be going through your journey. Everyone is. And you're going to connect and get it and like understand there are so many reasons, but you just need one. You just need one basic one. We are basically against the abuse and torture, enslavement and rape and slaughter of these innocent, beautiful beings, these animals that have done nothing, absolutely nothing wrong except born a different species. That's it. But they can feel, they can hear, they can see, they can touch, they can have emotions. They all have emotions. They all feel, they have families. They want and they have a will to survive. So being vegan is helping these animals, not contributing to their slaughter, not contributing to continuing to allow this to happen. But yet we do it, every day in our vending machines, in our fast foods. We go order foods, we get pizza delivered. Like we contribute to this like it's a product. And I think being vegan is seeing animals not as products, because they're not. Like, we've made them. And who gave us that right? Nobody. So being vegan actually means against the abuse of animals. So if you are not vegan, you may say that you're against the abuse of animals, but you don't act or you don't live by that, right? You may say it, and you may, it may feel good to tell yourself that you're against the abuse of animals, yet you go have ham sandwich, chicken wings, cheeseburgers, these things made with true dead animals. It's just being a hypocrite. And being vegan is, you're not a hypocrite, because you say that you love animals and you're against animal abuse, and you don't eat animals. You don't buy their dead flesh and tendons, and we don't do that. I mean, it's simple. And for the pure fact of, we don't want, why would we want to do that when we can choose something else? There's no good reason. So you can say, oh, it's convenient, there's less of it, it doesn't taste as good. I mean, even if all these things were true, which they're not, why would you do it? Just can't justify it, right? Truly justify it and feel good about it, at least. So once you understand that, and by all, it's only going to be better for pretty much every single reason. Better to eat plants. So being vegan is against the animal abuse, against all animal abuse. Pure and simple, basically.